But anyway, the reason why I really, not necessarily the reason I wanted to go there, I wanted to know where it was first and foremost, but the teacher that was leaving also mentioned to me that they had there's a restaurant and a cafe that are on like the main center of the campus kind of area. It's actually, now that I've been there, it's not like that big of a campus really when I'm thinking of, the like something as large as Cornell back in America. Well, I mean they do have a lot of fields here for the agricultural college, so I guess it is kind of spacious, and that was quite a detour that I had to take. But anyway, I went to I wanted to at least get a cup of coffee at the cafe because it was just so cold and I wanted to warm up. And it turns out the cafe is closed because I didn't think of this. I didn't put it in consideration that it's near the end of the school year. So a lot of things are kind of winding down. So the hours for the cafe, it's like closed like pretty much all this month. It's open the 18th, and I'm teaching night school on the 18th. So I'm going to be on the other side of town from where the college is. So at least it was a learning experience where I found that out. Interesting thing, when when I was at the college, there's kind of this main. I don't want to say it's a plaza. It's a main student building, I guess. It's not a rec building. It's like a student life building, I guess. They had like the cafeterias on one side, the cafes in this corner, and then you go down and there's like a rec hall. But anyway, in the middle of this hallway, where pretty much everything's closed down, but there's some space in this hallway where there were people practicing a dance routine, like an iPhone or something set up with this music that where they're doing like a dance routine where they're practicing that, and I thought that was really funny and really random and Japanese culture, modern Japanese culture, like some pop group doing a dance. But I thought that was bootleg. I thought that was interesting. I shouldn't just say bootleg all the time because that doesn't carry much meaning to anyone. If there was something like that, if there was a synchronized dancing, I don't know how to say it, choreographed dancing class or something like that, then I might sign up for that. I didn't talk to them because I was in a really bitter mood and I couldn't think straight. And I didn't want to just bug people. Listen, I mean, I guess I could get away with just bugging people like, hey, what's this dance routine from, or something like that. But I really feel like I would be just intruding on random people and seeming like a creep. I have a lot of self-doubt when I stop and think about things. That's probably not good for my health, considering stress and all. So, anyways, afterwards, I was riding my bike in total. I was riding my bicycle for almost 3 hours because it was about 45 minutes down from my apartment to the high school in the morning. But then anyway, I was riding my bicycle for a very long time, so my legs are a bit sore now. And the thing is, when I'm able to ride my bicycle, it's very convenient and it's fairly long, but I'd like to say it's more convenient because if, for example, if I take the bus that goes into town that would go to my workplace, it takes about an hour by bus, and that's just because of the winding route that it takes, where it would take about 45 minutes for me to go on my bike. And I can only bike so much before my legs get sore. Like, for example, tomorrow I'm teaching night school as well, and when the last class ends, I have to I have to run to the bus stop to be able to make it in time. It's the last bus that goes at the end of when those night school classes are. And if they want me to stay extra for like later than usual, which I've made a rule that they have to tell me ahead of time. Otherwise, I have to leave at a certain time to make the bus because I have missed just because of bad planning. I've missed being able to have a bus ride home when it's really cold out in winter. And it took me about 2 hours to walk home in the cold, and that was not a good night. I think that was on a Friday though, so I like slept pretty much the entire next day because I was just so demoralized by that. But anyway, I just wanted to share that, yeah, I was doing some teaching today, did a lot of biking, and today it wasn't terrible. Today it was a lot of biking around, but I basically went to the college just to see where it was, and came back. I didn't really have a plan or anything. Like, oh, I'm just going to bug random people and talk to them. No, that would just seem really stupid and rude on my part. Maybe I'll talk about meeting Japanese people in the future. I have some interesting experiences where basically the only way to meet people is to go out to bars, because that's the only way people open up is when they've had a little in them. So when, you're a little tipsy, and then you can open up, because that's just how Japanese culture works. It's how a lot of culture works. With you're able to speak more easily with a couple of drinks in you. I might talk about that in the future, but yeah, kind of a long day, being silly with puzzle boxes, and I come back after a long bike ride, and I do some cooking. I take a lot of time to do cooking, but I feel competent at it, and it's healthy food. And so this is the end of my first voice log, and thanks for listening.